The call came at 6 a.m. A farmer said that his entire field had been torn up in just one night. He explained that the newly planted soybean rows had been uprooted everywhere. The soil turned into long furrows, as if a tractor had passed through in the dark. He was certain that the wild boars had returned. I quickly gathered my equipment and headed to the farm on the edge of town. When I arrived, the tracks across the field told the whole story. For me, this was not an unfamiliar sight. After many years working in wildlife control teams, I know that once a sounder of wild boars begins returning to a feeding area, the damage can escalate very quickly if it is not handled in time. At first, we decided to try a medium-sized steel cage trap. This type of trap is often used when only a few wild boars are suspected to be active in the area. The frame was about 2 meters long and a little over 1 meter wide, strong enough to hold fully grown animals weighing dozens of kilograms. Inside, we place fermented corn mixed with barley. The smell of the mixture is strong enough to attract wild boars from quite a distance. After checking the drop door mechanism, we left the area and allowed the cameras to record everything that happened during the night. In the recorded footage, the wild boars appeared from the edge of the forest. They moved slowly forward, sniffing the ground as they approached. One large animal stepped inside first, and the others followed one by one. Eventually, several wild boars were inside the trap, but in later clips, many more could still be seen circling outside before disappearing back into the forest before sunrise. Looking at those images, I realized the small trap was solving only a small part of the problem. Once wild boars become familiar with a food source in an area, they usually travel in large groups. If only a few are caught, the rest will return and the damage will continue. So we decided to change our strategy. The next day, a large corral-style trap system was installed in an open area near where the boars usually passed. Steel posts were driven into the ground to form a circular enclosure dozens of meters wide. A steel mesh fence nearly 3 meters high was secured around it to prevent the animals from jumping out. Two one-way doors were installed at the entrance. When a boar pushed the door inward, the hinge mechanism caused it to swing shut behind it. Instead of placing bait in a single spot, We scattered fermented corn along a trail leading from outside the trap into the center. This method helps the animals gradually become comfortable with the structure without feeling forced. During the first few days, we simply left bait around the area so the boars could move in and out freely. Infrared cameras recorded their movements every night. With each passing night, more animals appeared. It became clear that the herd had started treating the area as a regular feeding ground. By the fourth night, when we activated the door system, almost the entire herd had moved inside. In the footage, the animals walked through the entrance one after another. There was no panic. They were focused only on the food ahead. When the last one stepped inside, the door quietly closed. The entire group was contained with almost no loud noise. From a distance, we could hear the faint sound of metal vibrating as the boars moved inside the steel enclosure. As we approached, the scene became clear. Dozens of wild boars were crowded inside the trap. We quickly inspected the entire frame, tightened the locking points, and ensured the structure remained stable. In wildlife management work, experience shows that effective control does not come from rushed actions. It comes from understanding how animals move, how they search for food, and how they respond to their environment. Once those patterns are understood, control measures can be carried out in a responsible and effective way.
In many rural areas, the presence of wild boars rarely begins with loud or obvious signs. It usually starts with very subtle changes: a few garden beds dug up overnight, deep hoofprints pressed along the edge of a fence, or a corner of the yard overturned as if something had just been searched for beneath the soil. Wild boars are animals with strong memories and remarkable adaptability. They do not move randomly as many people assume. Within each herd, there are typically alert individuals that act as observers. They move ahead or pause to check the surroundings before the rest of the herd approaches a new area. If they detect anything unusual, the entire group withdraws immediately. This caution makes managing them far more difficult than simply placing a basic trap in the middle of a field. For that reason, the first step in the management process is usually not to set a trap right away. It begins with monitoring. Infrared cameras are installed along the trails that the herd frequently travels. These devices operate throughout the night, recording the time of appearance, direction of movement, and the number of individuals in the herd. Data that may seem simple plays a crucial role in shaping the strategy behind the operation. Without accurate information, any trap is based merely on assumption. After several days of observation, wildlife management teams begin preparing the trapping site. What matters is not deploying the trap as quickly as possible, but making the location familiar to the herd. Bait is placed in the same position for several consecutive nights. At first, only a few individuals enter the area. Gradually, the entire herd returns more frequently. When the wild boars no longer display signs of wariness, it indicates that they have accepted the site as a normal part of their surrounding environment. The design of the trapping system also plays a vital role. Many modern models use circular or wide arc-shaped structures. This shape eliminates narrow corners that wild boars often use to push against or brace themselves against the frame. When fixed leverage points are absent, panic responses are significantly reduced. This not only keeps the herd stable but also makes subsequent handling safer for both humans and animals. Another factor that is rarely mentioned but extremely important is the timing of system activation. The objective of the trap is not merely to capture a single individual. In wild boar management, effectiveness is achieved only when most of the herd is controlled at the same time. Therefore, many modern systems use cameras that transmit live images to a phone or monitoring device. Operators can observe remotely and wait until the entire herd has entered the area before triggering the closing mechanism. The entire process unfolds quickly and causes minimal disturbance to the surrounding environment. There are no sudden loud noises or prolonged chases.
Come on! Come on!
When the system functions properly, the herd barely notices the change until the enclosure has been fully secured. Notably, these systems are not built on strength or direct confrontation. They are developed from a clear understanding of animal behavior. When people take the time to observe how wild boars move, how they respond to their environment, and how they make choices, management becomes far more effective.
Let's go. Yep, yep.
In modern wildlife management, the trap is no longer viewed as a symbol of coercion. It has become part of a long-term strategy aimed at reducing conflict between humans and nature. When properly designed and responsibly used, trapping systems help protect crops, property, and the stability of rural communities. Ultimately, what makes the difference is not the size of the trap or the strength of its materials. The difference lies in how people approach the problem. When, instead of reacting hastily, they choose to observe, analyze, and act at the right moment, wild boar management becomes a controlled, sustainable process aligned with ecological balance.